All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a case study that is truly fascinating. We're going to use someone's astrological chart to decode a really mysterious encounter from their past, and by doing that, map out a clear path for their future.
So let's start with this quote. It's an incredibly powerful line, right? It's the description of a person who just showed up and changed absolutely everything, kicking off a mystery that would take over 20 years to finally figure out. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with that strange, fated encounter. Then we'll decode the astrological blueprint behind it. After that, we'll uncover a hidden block that was preventing any progress. Then we'll reveal a pretty surprising third option. And finally, talk about how you might be able to apply some of these lessons yourself. All right, let's set the scene here. Picture a reclusive teenager in a pretty unusual family situation. And then, out of nowhere, this mysterious, captivating woman from another country arrives. This is the story of our subject, who we're going to call Aquarian Rising, and a woman named Denise. So their whole relationship, if you can call it that, it unfolded through these really intense but almost completely silent encounters. A sudden piggyback ride with no introduction, a long quiet embrace in the kitchen, a silent half hour spent lying on a couch together. I mean, every single moment was just loaded with this unspoken meaning, and it left a permanent mark. You know, the real mystery here wasn't just what happened. It was the feeling behind it. He was just this isolated kid, and she was this married woman from Brazil who couldn't even speak his language. And yet, there was this profound sense that this strange connection they had was somehow destined to happen. Okay, so fast forward decades. Aquarian Rising takes this story, this mystery, along with his astrological birth chart to a pretty sophisticated AI, just looking for answers. And what it found, honestly, it's kind of mind-blowing. So the first place the AI looks is the 7th house of the chart. Now, you can think of this as the part of your chart that's all about your significant one-on-one partnerships, kind of like a blueprint for who you're drawn to. And in his chart, it's ruled by a very specific zodiac sign. And right away, boom, the first huge clue. Denise, remember, was from Brazil. She's a foreigner. Well, guess what? His 7th house of partners is in Sagittarius, the sign that literally is the archetype for the foreigner. I mean, you can't get much more direct than that. It's a perfect example of how a chart can sometimes be a literal description of the people we're fated to meet. But it gets even more specific, which is just wild. The whole situation was secret, right? A bit taboo. And there was this underlying theme of shared resources, maybe a green card. Well, the planet that rules his partnerships, Jupiter, is sitting right in the 8th house. And the 8th house is all about, you guessed it, secrets, taboos, and other people's resources. The parallels are just... And the evidence just keeps stacking up. I mean, look at this. The chart points to a forbidden love situation. Check, she was married. The planets for love and romance, they're in the houses of home and family, which is exactly where all this went down. And then you get the smoking gun, this super rare, mathematically exact alignment with something called the vertex. That's a point in the chart that screams fated encounter. It's just undeniable.
So after putting all of this together, the AI came back with its conclusion. A 98% probability that Denise was a perfect textbook activation of the relationship story written in his birth chart. 98%. An astrological correlation like that it's just incredibly rare. Okay, so solving the past was one thing, but it actually created a brand new puzzle. If that past event was so clearly written in the stars, why now, at 40 years old, did Aquarian Rising feel so completely stuck, totally blocked from finding a real, lasting partnership? He felt like he was caught between a rock and a hard place. It was like he had two terrible options: date younger women who he felt were unreliable, or date older partners who couldn't have the family he wanted. It just felt impossible, a total dead end. Well, the AI found the answer, and it was in this kind of hidden astrological feature called an interception. The easiest way to think about it is like a secret room in your chart that's been locked from the outside. Any energy trapped in there is super hard to access. It's almost like it's been denied to you. And get this locked room was in his 5th house, the house of romance and children. And look at the prisoners trapped inside. Saturn, the planet of restriction. Pluto, transformation. The South Node, all about karma. And the vertex again, that point of fate. All of that powerful, destiny-related energy was basically locked away from him. No wonder it felt impossible.
But here's the crucial point. The chart wasn't showing him a dead end. Not at all. It was actually showing him the key, a very specific, kind of unusual key that was needed to unlock all that hidden potential.
See, the chart showed he was stuck in a false choice. The real path wasn't option A or option B. It was a unique mix of both. It was this third option, a younger partner who also happened to have these very traditional, almost old-world values.
So the AI basically laid it all out. It created this clear 3-point blueprint for the person who literally holds the key. They need to have that youthful energy, but also a really strong sense of traditional values and responsibility. And on top of that, a really nurturing maternal instinct.
You know, this whole case study is so powerful, and not just because it solved one person's mystery, it really shows how incredibly specific our own astrological signatures can be, and how they can guide all of us if we know how to read them.
So, with this new clarity, Aquarian rising isn't stuck anymore. He gets it. He has the blueprint. He knows what key he's looking for, and now he's actively out there seeking the specific partner his chart describes. And in that spirit of taking direct action, he's actually asked us to share a message for him. He's hoping to connect with a young, traditional woman from another country who is maternal, affectionate, and responsible. So if you happen to know someone who fits that description and who might be interested in building a family here in America, he's asking that you please share this explainer with her.
So, what does this all mean for you? If you want to start looking at your own story, these are 3 really key places to start in your own birth chart. Look at the sign in your 7th house for your partner type, the placement of Venus to see what you love and where you find it, and any connections to Saturn, which can show your biggest challenges in love.
And all of this leaves us with one final big question to think about. Is our love life really just written in the stars, totally predetermined? Or is the chart simply a map, a really detailed map that gives us the power to navigate our own journey, but with a whole lot more awareness?